Hello and welcome to another episode of the greatest underground show out there on the YouTube platform, Mellow Talk. Today, for our episode, we have a very special guest, Muchi. Am I saying
Hello.
correctly?
Yeah,
Is it,
Muchi.
dude? Welcome to the show, man.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
Bro, it's an honor to interview you today, especially with all the stuff that you've done over these past few months and over this year, especially. And to get you started off, bro, who are you and when did you start doing this, man?
Okay, so hello to everyone watching,
Mm-hmm.
and to the man himself. My name is Muchi, Muchi, pronounced Moocchee, Muchi. A noise of the cow having the cheese.
Right.
I'm a musician, producer, videographer, artist. Period. I do a lot of things. I make clothes. I have a brand by the name of Ion Peace. I started around probably 6 years ago. My dad's the reason I make music. And ever since then, I just been grinding from it. Like as soon as I started, I just kind of never stopped. And now I'm here.
Dude, that's as far as I was gonna actually ask you about what Ion Peace was. I think it and you explained it just now. Like that's a clothing brand. So
Yeah,
man, you really do
yeah,
be all over the place. That's cool as shit, man.
yeah,
That's cool as fuck. As an artist, it's always good to be able to dabble in everything, man. Like that's what it
absolutely,
means, bro.
absolutely.
So, you know, first question for you to start off easy. Like, what was like your biggest inspirations for you to start music?
I think my biggest inspirations was definitely first and foremost, my dad was my biggest inspiration. If it
Mm,
wasn't for him, I wouldn't even be like, I wouldn't even know how to EQ anything or what a mic was, to be
mm,
honest. And then on top of that, I think most of the artists I listen to, like Tyler the Creator, is a big inspiration to
yeah.
me. Not confusing that with fucking like the Odd Future phase, just solely
Right.
Tyler. I didn't really like, I wasn't a part of the Odd Future
Yeah.
phase, but I still appreciate it heavily. And Saba's a big inspiration to me as well.
Yeah.
But Tyler's a really big one. Like if it wasn't for
Mhm.
Tyler, there would be a lot of like sounds of just music I wouldn't really understand.
Right.
But the big three artist wise is like Tyler, Saba, and definitely Kanye. So I would give it
Kanye.
to those three. Yeah.
I would when I was like before like we decided on this interview, I was thinking like because I went through your catalog of music, I was just like, man, this dude rhymes like MF Doom. And I
See,
was wondering if I thought you was gonna say like, oh, one of my inspirations would be MF Doom, and I want to
mm,
hear like what you think on that because you rhyme just like him, damn near, which
yeah,
is
it's
cool as
weird.
hell.
It's weird because a lot like the artists I don't listen to, like for example, I get compared to Earl Sweatshirt a lot, and I've
Mm,
never really listened to I've listened to Earl songs. Don't get me wrong, but I've
yeah,
never like listened to Earl like as
yeah,
much to
religiously
have
type. Yeah.
to have an inspiration from him. So it's weird. It's the same thing with MF Doom. Like I like a couple MF Doom songs, but I
Mm,
never really listened to MF Doom, so I can't even say that my inspiration or like anything came from Doom
yeah,
or fucking like Earl in any way. But
yeah,
it's
that's
still
true.
cool to hear. It's cool to hear that like I don't know. It's interesting because it's a way of just me combining all of my inspirations to make
Right.
myself, but still there's like still other things that I'm innovating or like getting like origins from without even knowing.
Hmm.
So it's kind of cool.
Exactly. It's cool as fuck though, cause like like Tyler is an amazing inspiration. Like to anyone that is watching, Tyler the Creator, he's an amazing artist. Just in general, it's as an artist, he's amazing. Like
Yeah,
it does, like I don't really think more about his music. I think more of his overall this artistry. He makes clothes. A man directs his own freaking commercials for his
mm,
brand and shit. Like
yeah.
that shit is cool as hell. He has
I
his
think that's
own style.
yeah,
His
a
own
hundred
style.
percent. I think that's one of the reasons I'm so open to just trying everything. Before even I listened to Tyler, I always respected like people who did like practically everything, or like
Hmm.
producers and
Yeah.
artists who would like artists who would produce their own songs, and then producers who would make their own songs. I always had like them at a high level, kind of like super producers, like
Yeah.
the Pharrells and
Diddy.
the Timbas. Yeah,
Hmm.
like it just felt it was so cool to see, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna be that, and then I'm gonna be even bigger than that. Like I don't it's funny because all the things that you see, you're like at a point wanting to be, but then after you get to a certain point, you want to be better than that. And I'm at
Exactly.
that point at this point.
Yeah,
Like
where
all my
you is like,
inspirations,
yeah, I want to
yeah,
do this shit. Yeah,
yeah. So, but
that's cool as fuck, bro.
yeah,
That is so cool. So I got I gotta ask you the question that everyone probably has asked you at some point, man. Like, how has it been? Like, you've collabed with Overpaid, bro. I gotta know. I gotta know how that feeling is, man. Since he's been
Right.
popping off and shit, as long like also with you too. Like you've been popping off as well, but like I want to know how it was like collabing with him and shit for your one song that you have coming out soon.
First and foremost, I am a fan of Overpaid before we are friends. I
Right.
like if me and Overpaid weren't good friends, I would still be the biggest fan of Paid like ever. I just love Paid. I don't know what it is about him. I think it's just he's so innovative and like I feel like out of everyone in the underground, he's the one like if the industry was to change, he would be the one to do it.
Yeah, I
It's
100%
beautiful.
believe that.
Like
That's crazy because like I first listened to him like a year ago when he released Hypnotic for his EP. I listened to him first when he had the song Hate, and it was the normal speed one. He had the normal speed one. He had this sped up version. I think he got rid of the normal. I don't know what happened to it. I started listening to that. Then he released Hypnotic right after that, like a month into when I was listening to him. And man, is this his sound is so atmospheric and this crazy. It's just crazy.
bro, that was a beautiful time. Like Hypnotic and like Hate era was such a good time.
It was
Hypnotic, I can still like I remember I remember showing Pay like the screenshot of me listening to Hypnotic and I had everything liked. And it wasn't because I was just liking it to like it. It was because everything on it I liked. And I could actually like listen to the entire to this day I can still listen to that entire project and not skip a single thing.
Oh God, dude. And it's like he's so versatile too.
Absolutely. It's so cool because Paid is the one person, like no matter what he's on, it still sounds like Paid. Like Paid could get on a Drake beat and I would somehow still hear only Paid.
Oh God, dude. He's bro, I interviewed him too, man. Like bro has a great mindset. He's ready, like he's about that work ethic. He likes working on that shit. He likes his art. The man's painting now on Instagram. If y'all haven't seen, he's doing painting shit.
Yeah.
Bob Ross having ass, but
beautiful Bob Ross ever.
Beautiful Bob Ross, and he's doing his thing, man. And like, and I heard his collab with you. I was like, damn. Then you showed the little snippet of his verse. I was like, oh shit. This is gonna be like definitely gonna be on the playlist when that shit come out. 100%, bro.
Look Rich, Feel Rich is one of the ones for sure. Like, it's so this collab was awaited for like at least 2 years. We met in like 2021, and that like everyone wanted that since we met. So it finally happened 2 years later, but it's gonna be worth it. So
it's gonna be worth it. Did you produce the song too?
Yeah, I produce all my music except like unless I say it, but everything is produced by me.
That's crazy too. It's like your hook on it is fire as fuck. Like I cannot wait. Like that's definitely like I feel like that song definitely gonna blow up. I have a good feeling.
Yeah, as long as I put the right effort into it and I like actually be consistent with it, yeah, that song's gonna
yeah. It's gonna turn out well, bro. I cannot wait. So to the audience that's watching, listen to that shit when it comes out. Pre-save it.
Absolutely.
It's on pre-save right now on
Spotify.
Yeah, Spotify. Yep. Pre-save that shit. Put it in your playlist. It's gonna be out and it's gonna be fire. Trust me. Yeah. So onto your projects, right? Your album, Ego Confidence, right? It's the album.
Yeah, it's an EP, but it's just a really long EP.
yeah,
Ego
Deluxe. Yeah, I listened to the deluxe edition of it, and man, like, I wanted to know like what went into that project, and did you ever expect it to get the traction that it did? Especially with one of your songs actually being your top 3 like most played songs too, with Ego Villain.
It's funny because a lot of that. Well, the main thing that went into that project was a lot of mistakes. I had to make like a lot of like bad choices and fucked up things to get to that like cohesive idea of the project, which is it kind of sucks, but like at the same time, I wouldn't trade it for anything. I kind of needed it, and it was deserved. And I'm glad I had all those moments, and it was just needed. So a lot of mistakes and like just things that were happening to me, a lot of thoughts that I had, like a lot of that went into the project. And then on top of that, just the ideas I had at the time of per se getting it out and becoming better than whatever mistakes I had. Like that whole project is practically about letting go of your ego and letting go of all types of faults and realizing that you aren't your faults, you aren't your ego, you aren't anything that's like bad to you. You like those things are what you need, and those are all things that you have to be able to appreciate, but know that they happened and you have to let them go, and you have to realize they're not you. So
Yeah.
a lot of that, yeah, that was most of the way that it came together. And then on top of that, just me wanted to talk about it and get the music off. I think a big thing with that was I was so scared to like tell anybody that stuff, or like period, because I felt like I was gonna be judged and
Yeah.
I only would become the things that I had to talk about in that project. But
Exactly.
after, releasing it, I realized that I'm not that, and it was just a way of like upgrading myself and changing. So
Dude, that's a beautiful
yeah.
concept. Like with everything in life, bro, your mistakes, your successes, your failures, all that shit, that's a lesson for you. You gotta
Yeah,
take a lesson.
absolutely.
And like when it comes to ego too, like when you have shit like that too as well, you gotta take the shit as a lesson and just grow from it. That's the whole point in everyone's life, is that you have to evolve. That's what humanity has been for years. You gotta always evolve. And it's not just like physically, it's mindset wise, like mentally.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
it's just amazing to see that, artists like now are really like dwelling into who they are as a person, and actually like trying to help people and shit through their
Yeah,
music.
I'm glad we're at a time where being like not hard and not what the norm is okay. I'm not gonna say that
Exactly.
like it wasn't
Yeah.
like I came in at a perfect time because it wasn't hard to be who I was, but
Right.
for a long time it was very hard for people to be who they were. So I'm glad it was like
Yeah.
easier for me to
Like
be able
like
to.
people like Tyler the Creator, Earl Sweatshirt, like those people, like it was hard for them in their times because not a lot of people were as accepting.
Yeah,
Like
but they opened
them,
the doors for us.
yeah, they opened the door for us to be more open creatively and
Mhm.
to be more expression, like give more expression and
Yeah.
shit like that. Like I'm not saying like it wasn't just Tyler and them. Like it was just many different artists from all corners of the world that were trying shit and changing shit,
Absolutely.
and were considered outside the norm or weird, when really they weren't weird. Like they was just different. They was just different, and there's nothing wrong with having different. Like Playboy Cardi could be a good example. Like no one was fucking with that vampire shit back in like 2021. Now
Yeah.
everyone's rocking with that shit. Like
That's facts. It went
tell
from
me
cringe
not.
to cool so fast.
Right. Like when I first listened to his whole Red album, I was like, damn, this shit kind of cool. I fuck with it. Then it's like everyone else was like, damn, this shit ass or some shit.
It's
Like
crazy. I still never listened to that like in its entirety.
yeah, I listened to that whole thing on Christmas, bruh, and I was just like, there was a couple songs that I didn't see the vision per se. Like there was a couple ones that I knew, like, oh yeah, this shit is a banger. But like all the other ones, like I couldn't get the feeling of it. Then when he started doing his live shows and shit and his performances, that's when you realize what Whole Lot of Red actually
Yeah, it
was.
all made sense. It all made
Yeah,
sense.
it all made sense in the end. But it's just like people don't rock with shit that they see as weird in quotation marks. Like until they actually see the vision, then they're like, damn, this shit hard, and they start
Yeah.
rocking this shit all the time. Now you see Destroy Lonely walking around and Ken Carson memes and shit like that.
Yeah.
Everything's a rabbit hole. You find shit, you dwell in a rabbit hole. That's what the internet is, and the internet is a good thing too, if you know how to use it correctly.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Mhm. So next question for you, right? Your YouTube. Your YouTube. I know you do like deconstructed videos for your songs, and a lot. You also do your own performances in on there as well. Like,
Yeah.
can you talk about your experience for recording on the YouTube and stuff?
I wouldn't say I wouldn't think there's much to it. Mostly just, I've always like just a little kid. I wanted to be like a YouTuber or just some type of, I guess, like popular being. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah.
I wanted to be popular for the like reasons, except for being popular. I liked attention at the time, but now I definitely don't like care for it as much.
I
But
feel you there.
like the YouTube is mostly just like a lot of it's my ideas or just other ways of sharing the music and like actually showing like what it really is about. And it also helps with other people because like I know the breakdowns. I know a lot of people, not a lot of people, but I know a couple of people who actually watch the breakdowns and it's like help them improve
Yeah,
like
and learn shit.
production.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Listen.
It's cool to
sauce.
just share the sauce. Yeah.
Right, share the sauce, exactly. That's why I do these interviews too. Like I'm about to expand this shit even more with my own channel eventually. But
Okay.
overall, I do this interview shit to help give insight on what all these, growing artists in the underground are doing on a daily basis, what the grind is really about. Like, if you want to be good out here, audience, like you gotta work for that shit. You gotta have a passion for it. You gotta treat that shit like a job. It's like a 9 to 5. You wake up at your time that you need to wake up at, or you need to be there at that time that you want to be at. You gotta work. You gotta
Fuck
put that
that.
work in.
Treat it like it's your life. Like your life.
Or that, dude. Like, shoot. Like, I treat that shit as my life because this shit is a passion to me. I love journalism. Like, interviewing, like, even if it's music, even if people say that I'm not a real journalist, I don't give a fuck. I'm doing this shit because this is what journalists do. They gotta interview people. And this shit is cool as fuck. I love interviewing people. Bro, like, dude, like, whenever I join this server and I look to the right of me and it shows all the people that I've interviewed, it's just like, man, I did this shit with my own hard work. And it's like, you keep at it, bro, you get shit like that. And you see it here with Muchi right now too. Like, this man probably gonna blow up when that Overpaid song come out. I'm not gonna lie. I would not be surprised if I wake up the next morning and I see 1 million followers in this motherfucker's IG for some shit.
Man, got to make it happen. Got to make it happen.
Yeah, like, you gotta put that work in. Like, and it's just like, you take your faults too as well, and you learn from it and you grow from it, and then you just evolve. That's when you change shit for yourself.
Really.
And like, especially with you, man, like, you got the YouTube going, like, you got a ton of different directions that you can take, your overall artistry at, man. Like, that's awesome. And it's just a great thing to see too.
Yeah, I think it was very important for me to be able to build those different lanes. You get to a point where no matter what you're doing, you have to be able to like take a break from it and like go to down a different road just a couple of times.
Right.
Sometimes those detours are really like essential because if it wasn't for like my channel or like being able to do videography stuff or just anything in general, I feel like I would be very stagnant and a lot more like inconsistent with things. But since I have so many like lanes of just wanting to create that I have, it's perfect for me to just be able to tap into one and then let one sit for a little so I can come back to it and bubble it up even more.
Right. Exactly. It's like you take time off when you need it, and then you come back even more creatively inspired too.
Exactly.
Like, that's the good thing to have too as well. Like,
whether
knowing
it's like
when to
5
do it.
minutes or 10 minutes, like it helps.
Right. Right, dude. Like when you have beat block and shit or whatever, or there's writer's block and other other issues that you go through, it's like that's how you know that you're doing too much and you need to, like, all right, I need to take a little quick break and do something else. And that's when you have those other passions and shit that you explore in those times. Then you come back to it and you're like, shoot, I'm all ready to go. And you start putting like 10 beats in a row and 3 videos and shit. Like,
absolutely, yeah.
Right. It's crazy, man. It's crazy how the human mind works too. Like, this is straight crazy. So I got another question for you. For just overall your brand and everything, your art, music, clothes, what do you look for in this upcoming year regarding the growth of all that and your fan base?
Change. That's the main thing. Just change. My fan base, I want us to feel like we're more of a family than we ever have been. I feel like I'm trying to. I think it's showing like pretty well through, but the more and more I interact with everyone, the more I'm trying to build this whole like family thing. I want us to realize that, not in a parasocial weird way, but in like we all enjoy the same thing. We might as well all communicate with each other and all like enjoy like what we do and just all help each other. Like, people help me by giving me the support that they give me. I help people by giving them the inspiration or the motivation or just a couple of words that they might need. So like definitely with my fan base, I just want that to stay. Like, I want that to keep evolving and keep elevating to a different level than it was at before. And then everything else, just change, just any type of change. Because 1% of growth is way better than 0% of growth or like negative growth. So any change in any form good or bad. It is beautiful. The bad change helps me grow to get back to good change. The good change helps me elevate to then appreciate the bad change when it happens, to be able to like top it over and be able to manipulate it to how I need it. So change, big thing.
Bro. That's like the first time I actually heard, someone actually give a different answer to that question. Like that's a really like amazing answer, because
Thank you.
like usually they'll be like, man, I don't know. I think I might get like a couple followers here and there. Like yeah, okay, but
I think it's
what?
also a big thing. Like you can't predict the future, so it's like
Yeah, that's
people
true.
really
Yeah.
try to. Like people really try to predict what they have going, and then it ends up like driving them over the edge. But
Right.
end of the day, you just gotta like realize anything to happen change wise is good for you, and it'll help you be better than how you were before, bad or
Exactly.
good. So,
And it's the whole thing with the artist mindset is this, to constantly just change your art, change who you were, grow, take time to look at it at a different perspective, all that shit. Like
sure.
that's what helps you create, a nice fan base that feels like family. Helps you create music that can bring people together and get people hype and shit, and videos to help people out with shit, or just make people have fun and shit.
Yeah, it gives people a safe place, because not
Right.
everyone has that at home. So
Exactly.
being able to give that through, whether it's the internet or like one small interaction in person, it's perfect.
Exactly, man. Like you don't know how much one sentence can really change a person's life, bro.
Yeah.
Like at any moment.
I will.
Like
yeah, that's some real shit.
Some real shit, bro. Like real shit, bro. And it's up to us as creators to do that, to really build those places for people, because we were those same people at that point in time. Like we were all them at some
That's
point.
the beauty of it. We understand, because we were at that position at one point, and we just wanted to be the thing for other people.
Exactly, bro.
And for ourselves, of course. But
yeah, but it's always a lesson, and we all grow from it. And it's awesome to see people get out of that, get out of the fucking trenches and shit, and actually get to look up and see what's actually out there. And you see that there's a beautiful ass sunset or sunrise or some shit, and you get to look at it. Then eventually you get everyone else to look at that shit, and it'll be all fun. Yep, it'll be open up. So last question for you is like, bro, what kind of tips can you give to aspiring artists out there that are trying to get to your level?
This applies to everyone, not even just artists of like music or videos or anything. I think this applies to everyone. The biggest thing you could do is stop comparing lives. Stop trying to be somebody else. Stop trying to be anything else other than yourself, and realize that it's okay to be you, and it's okay to have those moments you fuck up, and it's okay to have all those mistakes and everything that comes along with it. You just gotta realize that you're yourself, and that's what matters the most. And on top of that, just constantly learn, constantly be trying to grow. That 1% is so important. Like if you improve every day by 1%, by the end of the year, you'll be improved by like 37. And that's so much better than anything else you could do.
Exactly.
Like anything minor, anything trivial, it's a lot more important than you think. Just take care of yourself. Take the time to improve and constantly learn. Don't doubt yourself, and yeah, man, just trust yourself. It'll work out if you trust yourself.
Yeah. It's important, bro, because you only hold yourself back. You will hold yourself back if you don't trust yourself.
Absolutely.
Like, no, that's what I struggled with at first. We all had that doubt. Everyone has that doubt in that mind, in their mind, bro. It's just about overcoming that said self-doubt.
Yeah, a big thing that I've kind of like just learned over time is you got to feel the fear, and then just do it anyway. It doesn't matter. Just, you can be scared, and that's okay, but don't let that stop you. Just do it anyway. Do it while you're scared.
Exactly. Like you want to know, like you want to have that doubt, like, oh shit, like am I really doing the right thing? And it's gonna show when you know that you're doing the right thing, and when you're not. And if you're not, you take that lesson and you figure out, all right, what do I need to focus on to make it good? And you do that. You focus on it, and it'll literally, the shit will drop on your lap, bro. You're gonna put the work in, right? Everything's gonna literally fall at your lap. All you gotta do is just open up the prize, and you gonna get it, and you choose which one you want. Like that's, like, bro, that's what these interviews is all about, bro. All these artists that I bring in, man, small to big. Like I've interviewed dudes who only have 100 followers to fucking 17K. Like everything, man, is a learning experience, and all these artists are here to tell you that. I'm here to tell you this. It's all it is. And bro, it was awesome to have you on the show. Like, man, you gave some amazing insight on how it is to, work with some amazing artists out there in the industry. Well, the underground. Eventually will be the industry, I hope, someday. And just in general, like, art, man, like, you gave some amazing insight on that shit, bro.
Thank you. It was cool to be here, man. It's cool to just have these conversations, whether they're long or short.
Yeah. Long or short or whatever, man. It's just amazing to have you in here, bro. And to the audience, bro, have an awesome day and create some shit, bro.
Bro, shit. Go be you today.
Yeah.
Go be you today.
Yeah. To the audience, bro, mellow the fuck out. Deuces. And video. Woo! Let's go.
Look rich, feel rich. Look rich, feel rich. Look shit, feel shit. Look this, feel